Hello, my name is John. Along with my brothers in Christ, Michael and James, we are Fair Use Ministry. We bring responsible dissection of irresponsible preaching. This is a new ministry that the Lord laid upon our hearts because we looked at the vast YouTube communities and we couldn't see a lot of in-context dissection and tearing apart of false gospels brought by certain televangelists and false pastors on YouTube. And while there are certain other YouTubers that take bits and pieces of sermons by such teachers as Beth Moore and Joyce Meyer, Paul and Jan Crouch, Creflo Dollar, so on and so forth, we wanted to take the entirety of a sermon and give a real-time evaluation about whether or not these sermons, these messages actually lined up with the gospel. And if they didn't line up with the gospel, then we had to show how they were a different gospel. And as mentioned by Paul in Galatians, any other gospel is anathema, or marked by God for destruction. And so looking at the vast communities in YouTube and the wealth of different resources, there was a name that didn't seem to be really targeted that much, considering how far off the mark this pastor is and how big of a presence they have, and that was Joel Osteen. He would seem to be the golden boy, and there wasn't a lot of criticism of his sermons or his message. There was a lot of positive messages about it. There was a lot of praise of him, and you might get some things here and there, but nothing in context. And in order to hold ourselves above reproach and be beyond the claim of, well, you're taking what he says out of context, or you're just cherry picking, so on and so forth, we wanted to give a more complete picture of what his sermons said and how they're in error. So with a general knowledge of how fair use is treated on YouTube according to different precedents they've set, along with looking at different legal documents, we decided to do a new ministry. We were going to take a full sermon from Joel Osteen or whoever else, because, we were going to start with Joel Osteen, and we were going to create a new transformative work that could be covered under fair use, a commentary, if you will. And we did this by chopping off his nice little joke he starts with at the beginning, and his invitation to prayer at the end, and his shilling through infomercials at the end, to leave the bulk in the middle, which was his individual sermon. Along with different other editing techniques, we were able to make a transformative work that would not be caught by YouTube's automatic flagging algorithm, and yet left everything in context that we can make commentary over, and again, hold ourselves beyond reproach. Once we had that in hand, my brother Michael and I recorded, edited, and uploaded this morning a video going over Joel Osteen's Remember Your Dream. Now, Remember Your Dream was supposed to be the beginning of our ministry, the beginning of the series, and kind of a mid-water mark for Joel Osteen's ministry and sermons. It's an inaccurate sermon. There's a lot of things that were theologically wrong with it. But the main point is that we targeted what he was saying and not him himself. The last thing that we wanted to be accused of was character assassination. But that said, we uploaded the video and we put certain tags in the video. Admittedly, false prophet, false teaching, Joel Osteen Ministries. This is important. There are several ways that YouTube handles accusations of copyright claims. Now, there's a difference between a copyright strike and a copyright claim. A copyright strike can deep six even the most established of channels very quickly. Multiple will kill your channel. Copyright claims are different. Copyright claims happen fairly often on YouTube. Have you ever seen one of those lyric videos on YouTube? That's been copyright claimed. YouTube has an automated system that automatically matches video and audio from any kind of claimant or source that might have produced the content. And along with it, there's a system to rebut and make a counterclaim to those copyright claims. It's an automated system. Typically, those, again, using the example of those lyric videos, a person files a counterclaim to the original copyright claim, and within minutes, sometimes even seconds, YouTube will automatically clear the video to where it can be watched again. Now, monetization is a different thing. We were a new channel. We were not going to monetize. That's another element of the story. So we uploaded the video. We put the tags, and it was up on YouTube for a couple hours. The automatic flagging system did not catch it. I received an email, which I'm going to show, that Lakewood Church, Joel Osteen's ministry, manually copyright claimed the video. Now, I wish I was smart enough or had enough forethought to actually take a screenshot, because there was no audio-visual match or time code for what content was taken. By the fact that we took a 27-minute sermon, actually 27 minutes and 44 seconds to be exact, and chopped it down to 20 minutes, and then commentated over it, we had an hour-and-a-half long video. More than enough to be considered a fair use, transformative act. And so I filed a counterclaim. I did everything that was listed online that you should put in a counterclaim, and there are proven examples of how people have, gotten around the system or have proven themselves to make a transformative work. There are many commentators on YouTube that go after other pastors and televangelists, and what we did was no different. But Joel Osteen was a little bit different. Whereas with an automated copyright claim system, and even with a manual copyright claim system, either YouTube staff or their algorithm is supposed to actually check your counterclaim and see if it held water or not. Instead, it was handed off to Lakewood Church. Lakewood Church made the decision, a very arbitrary one, and there's about 5 minutes worth of difference, maybe 10 on the outside, to where they actually filed a response to my counterclaim. And they tagged a random 2 minutes in it. And in that 2 minutes, and I wish I could show you the video, and if I did show you the video, again, it would be claimed by Lakewood Church. Maybe 5 seconds of Osteen's sermon was playing, and then it was Brother Michael and I who were commenting over it. It would seem that they just picked a random amount of time, and YouTube automatically said, no, that's good enough for us. And that lies to the crux of the problem and where we're at now. We're not going to go away as a ministry. We might leave YouTube. I'm going to post this to my main channel, and it'll probably get flagged down again by Lakewood Church because how I'm going to tag it. But we're not going away. We're going to move to another service, possibly BitChute, because people need to know about false shepherds and false teaching. That's what we're called to do. But as long as we attempt to stay on YouTube, we're going to be hounded by Joel Osteen. And with the way that YouTube is favoring Joel Osteen, like no other pastor, it doesn't seem like we're going to gain much of a foothold. And everything that we try to say or do is going to be automatically taken down by Joel Osteen. Now, I could not tag my videos and have the chance possibly of it not being caught by Lakewood Church, but unlike some of the things that they have in their sermons, I want our criticism to be above reproach and in the light, not set behind his back but to his face. Joel didn't give us the option of that. He didn't respond back to us. He hid, and he chose to hide away from criticism. We are to be conformed to Christ, not to this world. Because of that, we're going to stick out like a sore thumb. The point of the gospel was not to say, hey, guess what? You're going to get that new car, or you're miraculously going to get out of debt, or you're going to get that promotion out of nowhere. It's a path of servitude. It's a path of love. It's not a path that leads you to millions and millions of dollars. It's not a path that leads you to daytime television. And if you're following the gospel, it's not a path that leads you to buckle at the first bit of questioning over a simple theology. But Joel Osteen proved why he's protected by YouTube. He's a false shepherd, giving false teachings and another gospel. His own words and now his own actions prove himself, prove his ministry, and prove to show where he really stands. And so we're not going away. We're going to change our service. I'm going to leave this up as long as it will go. I'm going to spread it because people need to know about what Osteen Ministries have done. Because if it was a matter of copyright, and I'm going to show pictures of this as well, then there should be no mirrors of his video. But there is. Right now, live is an exact copy, one-for-one copy of Joel Osteen's Remember Your Dream. And you can view it. And there's large segments and clips of his sermon that are in motivational videos. And they stay up. They stay up because they're not criticism. They stay up because they're praising him. They're showering him and lavishing him with praise. They're not pointing a finger towards God. They're not trying to keep our faith, the representation of our faith, accurate. They're there to glorify the man that is Joel Osteen. And further goes to show, and is further evidence, that his actions condemn him. So with that, we're going to continue to be Fair Use Ministry, but we're not going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on BitChute. I will try to include a link below. I encourage your commentary and your discussion on this in the comments below. Whether you agree with me or disagree, just please try to keep it civil. I want to end this video the same way that Michael and I ended the video that we tried to upload this morning. We wish you well. We love you. And we're praying for you. Have a good day.